Beneath a mountain blanketed in centuries of moss and mist, the world trembles. The earth groans like an old god disturbed from its slumber. A deep fissure cracks through the forest floor, and the roots of ancient trees twist violently as something begins to stir. Buried beneath layers of rock, bone, and forgotten time lies Ironhide, the last of the Ankylosaurs, a creature born from Earth's own armor. His eyelids, heavy as boulders, flicker open to reveal eyes glowing like molten amber. As rain pours from the heavens, the droplets hiss upon his stony plates, sliding down his armored back in thin rivers of steam. The forest, sensing its guardian's rebirth, falls silent. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the towering stag, feels the vibration of his awakening. Slowly, Ironhide rises, his colossal tail dragging through the mud like a weapon forged by nature itself. When he exhales, the air grows warm, not from fire, but from the sheer force of life returning. A storm of leaves whirls around him, and his first steps echo like thunder through the valley. The age of man may have forgotten him, but the earth had not. Somewhere deep in its core, the planet had whispered his name once more. Awaken, Guardian. Ironhide moves through the misty woods like a living mountain. His footsteps sink deep into the soil, leaving behind craters that fill with rainwater. The forest, once lush and carefree, is now still. Every creature hides, watching from the shadows. Owls hoot from hollow trees, wolves retreat, and even the wind dares not disturb his path. As he passes through the undergrowth, Ironhide's mind begins to stir with fragmented memories. He recalls an age when titans ruled the world, when thunder lizards walked beside rivers of fire and mountains bowed to no one. He remembers his kin, proud, armored beasts who defended the forests from chaos. But then came the smoke and the hunters. His eyes flicker as visions return, spears piercing scales, fire raining from the skies, and the silence that followed. Now he walks alone. His heavy tail swings slowly behind him, a reminder of power once feared by all. Yet within that armor beats a heart burdened with grief. The forest murmurs his sorrow. Even the wind seems to whisper condolences through the trees. For Ironhide is not merely alive. He is the echo of an ancient promise that the earth will never truly die. Ironhide reaches the Valley of Bones, a place where time stands still. The air is thick with dust and the scent of decay. Fossilized remains of his ancestors lie scattered across the ground, half buried in the soil, their bones entwined with roots and stone. He lowers his head and sniffs the air. It smells of rain and remembrance. As he walks among the relics, each footstep releases faint echoes, as if the valley itself remembers. He pauses beside a giant ribcage, weathered and broken. With slow, reverent movement, he taps it with his clubbed tail. The impact sends a dull thud through the earth, a heartbeat from the past. A low growl escapes his throat, deep and mournful, a sound that resonates with the very core of the planet. Thunder rumbles above. Lightning forks across the sky, illuminating Ironhide's armored form. The heavens seem to mourn with him. The storm's rhythm becomes a requiem for the fallen titans. For a brief moment, Ironhide raises his head toward the storm and roars, not in anger, but in remembrance. His voice pierces through time, reaching the souls of creatures long gone. And in that roar, the world remembers that its protector still lives. Far from the valley, the faint hum of engines disrupts the serenity of the forest. A team of explorers, driven by greed, ambition, and curiosity, ventures deep into Ironhide's territory. Their torches cut through the darkness like spears of false light, and their laughter rings hollow in the ancient woods. They talk of fossils and glory, of riches buried beneath the soil. None of them truly understand the sacred ground they walk upon. When they reach the heart of the forest, the laughter fades. The air feels heavier, thicker, charged with unseen energy. The ground trembles softly beneath their boots. One man kneels, brushing dirt from a peculiar imprint, a massive footprint. Before he can speak, the trees begin to sway violently. A deep rhythmic sound emerges from the shadows. Thud, thud, thud. Then, from the mist, Ironhide appears. His eyes burn with golden light. His spiked back glimmers faintly in the glow of the torches. The explorers freeze, terror written on their faces. One of them raises a camera and then drops it as Ironhide exhales, a deep growl that shakes the air. The forest, once silent, now breathes again. Through its guardian, the forest burns with the light of human fire. Flares and explosions tear through the night as the intruders try to cage what cannot be caged. Ironhide stands in the center of chaos, surrounded by machines of steel that pale beside the living fortress he is. Bullets rain against his armor, but each one ricochets harmlessly, sparking off the ancient plates that have withstood volcanoes and storms. He moves forward, slow but unstoppable, a force of nature reclaiming what was stolen. A metal spear pierces his flank, and for the first time in centuries, the Guardian bleeds. The crimson glow trickles down his stone-grey scales, hissing against the mud. The pain awakens something primal inside him. Not anger, but purpose. With a mighty swing of his tail, Ironhide smashes through armored trucks like toys. The ground shakes, trees collapse. Men scream, but their voices are lost beneath his roar. A sound so deep, it vibrates the earth itself. The forest comes alive in his defense. Vines curl around metal, roots rise to crush engines. Nature joins its guardian in defiance. When silence finally falls, smoke lingers in the air. The invaders flee, their greed burned away by terror. Ironhide stands amidst the wreckage, breathing heavily, eyes glowing through the haze. He looks toward the stars, as if asking them why balance always comes through suffering. The world does not answer. It only reigns. Wounded but unbroken, Ironhide retreats deeper into the mountains, to the place where his kind were born. He follows the call of the earth, a heartbeat deep below the crust. The path leads him to a massive chasm filled with molten rivers of magma that pulse like veins. The cavern walls shimmer with ancient carvings, images of dragons, beasts, and gods who once walked beside the first guardians. The heat is suffocating, yet familiar. Ironhide lowers his head to drink from the molten streams, and his wounds close instantly. Sparks dance across his armor, fusing his plates tighter, hardening him further. The cavern rumbles as if the planet itself recognizes its child. In the glow of lava, Ironhide sees visions of balance restored and broken again, of human greed spreading like wildfire, of nature gasping for air. The ancient voice of the earth whispers, "You were not made to destroy, but to endure." He closes his eyes, absorbing the magma's warmth until his armor gleams like newly forged metal. His tail crackles with fiery veins. His spikes shimmer like obsidian blades. From this moment, Ironhide is reborn, not as the last of his kind, but as the living shield of the world. Thunder splits the sky as Ironhide emerges from the mountain's heart. Lightning illuminates his silhouette, massive, armored, unyielding. A storm unlike any before rages across the heavens, as if the skies themselves wage war against the earth. Winds uproot trees, rivers overflow, and lightning dances across his shell, striking but never breaking him. From the horizon, dark clouds form shapes, monstrous figures of smoke and shadow. It is as if the fury of man, the pollution, the greed of ages past, has taken form. Ironhide faces them with a low, rumbling growl that echoes through the valley. His tail slams into the ground, sending a shockwave of energy that ripples outward like rippling thunder. He climbs to the peak of a mountain, roaring against the tempest. Each lightning strike charges his body, igniting the magma veins within his armor. For a moment, he is not merely an ancient beast. He is the embodiment of nature's will. Fire and stone, fury and protection, destruction and creation. all united in a single living form. As the storm rages, Ironhide endures. The night stretches long, but his stance never falters. He is the anchor between chaos and calm, standing alone against the fury of the world. When dawn finally breaks, the storm begins to fade. The rain washes his blood away, leaving behind only gleaming armor and the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, the sound of survival itself. The morning sun rises through mist and smoke. The forest that had burned now glows with rebirth. Sprouts of green pushing through blackened soil, flowers blooming from ash. Ironhide stands at the edge of a great cliff, overlooking the valley that once echoed with his roar. Below, new life stirs. Birds return. Streams flow again. He lowers his massive head toward the earth, pressing his snout into the soil. The ground hums in response, as if recognizing its champion. His eyes, once burning with fire, now shimmer with calm golden light. The storm is over. Balance has returned. But Ironhide knows the cycle never ends. The world will change, and greed will rise again. Yet he will always be there, unseen, beneath the roots, watching, waiting. A shadow beneath the soil, a heartbeat under the mountains. As the wind sweeps across the cliffs, his silhouette fades into the mist. Only the sound of heavy footsteps remains, echoing deeper into the wilderness until Ali